Hello everyone from every part of the world. I hope that you're safe and sound. My name is Bernard and I'm the data center software leader from Secure Power Division, and I'm responsible for the East Asia Pacific, Japan as well as Greater India market. And I'm based out in Singapore. Today we're going to talk about why remote IT infrastructure management is critical to your business as an IT solution provider and to the business of your customers. Let's first start by looking at how much data is generated a day and what this looks like as we enter to an even more data-driven future. Here are some key daily statistics highlighted in the infographic here. Now, if we were to follow me at the bottom left-hand corner, we're seeing about 294 billion emails are being sent a day. There's a lot of tweets being sent out, 500 millions of it. 4 petabytes of data are created on Facebook, so we are very much socially connected today. When we move bottom, we are talking about 5 terabytes of data are created from each connected car. So we're saying that more and more consumers are using Google Maps, Apple CarPlay. When we look at the right-hand side, 65 billion messages are sent on WhatsApp, and that's excluding platforms like WeChat and Line. 5 billion searches are made, and out of these 5 billion, 3.5 billion comes from Google search. So what we are seeing is that by 2025, it's estimated that 463 hexabytes of data will be created each day globally. Now that's the equivalent of about 212 DVDs per day. Now with the increase of remote workforce, I believe these numbers would surge tremendously today. Now, data is growing in size, shape, and density. So to digest this amount of data, we will need to rethink how data will be delivered across different locations in faster speed and in a more resilient state. With the new computing ecosystem of today, we call this the hybrid IT. The traditional centralized data center is still part of the picture, but we see an emergence of regional edge and local edge. Now, what we see happening is that centralization is around the large cloud and colo providers, and there's a new push towards compute storage closer to the edge, especially in today's world where there's a huge increase in remote workforce where employees are tasked to continue to work from home, as well as communicating with their peers through online collaboration tools like how we are running the virtual forum today. Right? In the education sectors, teachers are tasked to deliver their training sessions online, thus creating lots of pressure on the need for an edge data center. So how can we, you and I, help the IT professionals to deal with the new challenges brought by the emergence of hybrid IT? We are seizing the opportunities that comes along with it. So given the increasing trend towards edge, it is also clear that partners like you are critical to the IT professionals' success in addressing the challenges caused by edge. Now, with the computing power being dispatched everywhere and no additional staff can be present on site today, IT professionals are turning towards you, the IT consultants and managed service providers, to provide support. Now, what are the kind of help that they are looking for? First, they want help in understanding how do they know if they have a problem before it's too late. Who can help them in ensuring their equipment is always well maintained? There are so many alarms out there today. How do I know which ones are critical and which one do I need to prioritize first? How do I monitor and maintain this equipment? So the focus of this session here is to talk about how EcoStruxure IT could help partners like you and ultimately your customers to simplify the way edge infrastructures that are being complex are being managed by the platform. So what is EcoStruxure IT? So EcoStruxure IT is Schneider Electric's next generation infrastructure management platform that simplifies the way IT and data center professionals optimizes its infrastructure performance by mitigating risk and providing visibility insights into the health of your customers' monitored infrastructure. 2, flexibility to monitor different brands of IoT connected devices. In other words, we are vendor agnostic. 3, providing analytics-based actionable insights that allows partners like you to make the necessary recommendations to your end customers on the best ways to optimize their performance and mitigate potential risk. Last but not least, this is driven by a very flexible subscription model. In other words, pay as per use. So we need to help our customers that rely on a more secure, resilient, scalable, and efficient infrastructure by becoming more than a vendor. We need to be a trusted advisor. Doing so will enable you to better serve your customers while unlocking recurring revenue streams and new business opportunities. Despite the customer's needs and your opportunity as a partner, it may also be surprising for you to learn that based on a recent report from SolarWinds and the 2112 group, only 27% of partners leading with software and services provide power and cooling of critical infrastructure monitoring to their end customers. And out of that 27% that we highlight here, most of them are only monitoring purely for online and offline status. Now, you ask me, is this sufficient? I think there's a lot more to power and cooling monitoring than just online and offline status, which is pretty much basic. So since last year, where we were just introducing EcoStruxure IT to our partners, we have seen some interesting ways how our partners has been leveraging the platform to create more value for their customers while making sure that they capture some themselves as well. Now, let's go through these 4 models, and based on the partners trends that we see, today, majority are on a buy and resell model. Tomorrow, what the partners do envision is to not only resell, but manage by providing more value-added services. Now, this is the reason why is that there's a massive push from the end users to outsource power and cooling management and monitoring. Now, this adoption model is forming a kind of a gauge from providing value-added services to become full MSP through a mix of business model, which includes value-added reselling plus generating value-added assessment reports to your end customers. So if we look at the MSP side of it, now in 2019, 70% of MSPs plan to grow managed or recurring revenue services. Now, this is according to a research we have conducted with analytics firms such as Chainalytics and the Channel Co. If we look at the VAR, which is value-added reseller side of it, we know that there's a shift going on from VAR to professional services and now managed services. Now, we observe that with more clients moving some or all of their applications to subscription models in the cloud, value-added resellers or VARs have had to deal with having fewer products and projects to sell. Now, in addition to some new IT solutions inherently that requires more management and support, some VARs are adapting by migrating towards an MSP model. Now, what we see is that EcoStruxure IT for partners is being developed for partners like you into transforming into what is the best ways and easiest way to provide additional service to your customers. So let's take a look at a couple of real-life examples that we have across the 4 adoption models here. Now, when we look at the first model, the buy and resell, now what we do see is that partners resells IT license to the customers, and the customers manages the environment itself. So this model is what we call buy and resell. Customers do it themselves, which is a DIY approach. Now, how EcoStruxure IT for partners could give you insights into allowing you to buy and resell is typically through a portal where it allows you to first of all invite your customers to be part of the community. So once the customer signs up and is part of your portal, you will start to be able to understand what are the level of support they are currently on. Now, are they currently on trial? If they are, it's about time for you to convert them from trial to subscription-based model, and that's where it allows you to gain more revenue. Now, if your customers are currently on a licensing model that is going to expire soon, the good news is that you're there to look for them and recommend them to renew, and that's again an additional revenue for your organization. Now, there's also the third category, and that means that the customers likes the product and they're using more than what they have paid for. And that's what we call exceeding the license count. And again, this is where you can approach the customers to get them to buy more licenses from us. All right, and that's what we call the buy and resell model, where we do have a portal for partners like you to monitor the progress of your individual customers. And here's a use case that we have in the US where the solution provider is actually providing support for equipment manufacturer. In fact, this equipment manufacturer rents out construction equipments to its customers. And today, the MSPs or the solution providers are helping them to monitor 100 devices across 20 plus locations. And for this particular partner, the whole idea here and intention here is just to buy and resell and allow their end customers to monitor it by themselves. All right, and by doing so, it allows the partners to get a annual recurring revenue of about $6,450 per year for 100 nodes devices. All right, and if the customer were to like the product, they will continue to renew $6,450 per year with the partner a year later. Now, the second model here that we talk about is the value-added services, and partners uses EcoStruxure IT to collect data to provide recommendation back to the customers as a next step. All right, in this form, it allows partners like you who are on this journey to capture new revenue streams through assessments. And this is how EcoStruxure IT could provide partners like you, where we have a recommendation tab here. Inside this tab, it allows you to explore possible improvement or opportunities for your customers based on the assessments that we collect. Inside this report, you get to have two categories: whether the customer requires to replace its UPS or replacements of its batteries. And with actionable insights and reasons to reach out to customers with tailored suggestions to modernize their infrastructure. Now, if I would like to pick an example, I'm going to deep dive into replacement of UPS batteries. Here you get to see a UPS scores that represent the overall health of the monitored UPS devices. So keeping the score high, it means that it optimizes the maintenance and it manages to extend the life of the device. Now, when we look at the low scoring ones, are probably the ones that you need to deep dive and look into the reasons on why this particular device is having a very, very low score. Now, if you look at this particular UPS here, we can actually deep dive and identify, the reason why the battery needs replacement. And when we click on it and we deep dive into the next level, you'll be able to see a report that actually tells you why this particular UPS battery needs a replacement. First of all, the age of the battery is 5 years old, it's very old, and one of the possible reasons why the battery needs replacement is because it is running at a very, very high temperature of about 30 degrees, all right, where the recommended range that we're looking at is between 20 to 25. And what are the possible root causes on why the battery wear into such state is because 61% is due to the age, it's pretty old, and the remaining 35.5 is due to the battery temperature is operating at. Now, if we want to look at benchmarking on how this particular device is being used as compared to the rest of the populations that the data lake has collected, we have a benchmarking here where it gives you an understanding through this particular line to tell you where you are at. So for this instance, I'm running at 30 degrees, whereas the majority of the populations that we've collected are running at a range of about 20 to 25. All right. Likewise, for the battery age, you're running on a pretty old battery that is at the age of 5, whereas the rest of the population that we collected on the data lake is running at the range of about 4 years and below. Next up is the UPS age, and that gives you the gauge of the number of users that's using this particular UPS in the population that we have collected in our system itself. And majority of them are running probably a UPS of age of about 4 years and below. All right. Now, with this value-added services, it really gives you a lot of insights and possibilities for you to provide recommendations to your customers on what is the next action steps that they need to look into. So let's look into a partner. So this particular solution provider in the US is our traditional Schneider Electric reseller. Their core focus is to sell Schneider's UPS. And one of the customer that they actually managed to engage is in the healthcare industry, where this particular customer has about 750 devices that spread across about 90 locations. So for a 750 node device opportunity, the amount that they get out of it by selling the licenses is about $20,000, right? So on a year to manage 750 devices across 90 locations, the partner is selling $20,000 a year as a subscription offer. Now, on top of the buy and resell model, the partner took an additional step, and that is to leverage on the assessment reports that ITE could provide and use it as a consultative tool for their end customer. And guess what? Through the assessment report, they managed to uncover $1 million worth of hardware opportunities that requires immediate attention. All right. All of these 1 million today, they have managed to capture about 700K of hardware purchases from the end customers. There's top priority that needs to be replaced immediately, and the remaining 300,000 are being placed as a budget for next year. So if you could imagine, by just selling a 20K annual recurring revenue license to your customers and by leveraging on the big data that the platform could collect, there's a potential upside to grow the business from $20,000 to $1 million. And that's all by using the EcoStruxure IT platform coupled with the assessment reports that you can bundle as a value-added service. Now, the next model that we're looking at is purely about providing managed service provider, right? And this is potentially a new business model that partners could leverage on the out-of-the-box platform, and by leveraging on out-of-the-box platform to build a new business model by offering pre-packaged offers, all right, for monitoring, as well as management and full turnkey of management, monitoring, and remediation services, all right? So this is a particular customer, a partner, where we are actually looking into where it's an MSP in New York. The whole idea here is to focus on hardware and managing their end customers' environment. And this particular customer that they managed to penetrate into is in the education sector. Today, this particular customer has about 400 plus devices that is connected, is across a real distributed environment. Now, by monitoring 400 nodes devices, the annual recurring revenue of subscription license for this particular partner is $18,000, right? So remember, $18,000 based on the buy and resell model. But what they did is they took this with another step forward. Now, what did they do is that they actually create what we call managed service offers in a 3-tier approach. All right. So what they did was they created a 3-tier packages for the end customers to pick and choose. And this is the offer that they provide. All right. So offer number 1, they provide a very basic offer, just purely monitoring of the device's status on and off, provide alarm notifications to the end users, as well as monthly reports in terms of the utilization to the end users itself. And they're wrapping it around with a $60 per node, per device, per year pricing. And based on the 400 nodes that the customer has, this is a potential increase of revenue from 18,000 per year to 24,000. All right. Now, the second tier that they're actually offering as part of their offer is to provide a premium support where they allow the customers to give them a call and providing them a help desk phone support. All right. If there's a problem, recommendations will be provided to help address any of the issues that the customer encounter. And on top of that, what they're providing is a quarterly health check that looks into the health of the devices, security of the devices, and as well as how well they are utilizing the UPS itself. And at the same time, providing insights into how the system is performing by analyzing the alarms if the device has triggered any, all right? And with this value-added services, this is an offer that is based on $20 per month per device, and if we look at the yearly price, it's about close to about 240 US dollars, all right? And if we then multiply that across 400 devices, there's a potential revenue of about 96,000 based on this scenario that we are discussing right now. The last model is Premium Plus, $40 to $50 a month per device. And this includes dispatching resources on site to troubleshoot the particular issue that has been triggered, leveraging on the big data pool that EcoStruxure IT provides to insights into analytics and predictive capability, provide mass firmware upgrades and configuration across devices, and looking into the security patches for the hardware that's being monitored. Now, all in all, wrapping around this, the entire offer that the partner came up with, the premium tier, is about 40 USD to 50 USD per month. And if we wrap it up across a year for 400 nodes, there's a potential upside of about 192,000. So there's a lot of opportunities for managed service providers. And for this particular opportunity, the partner managed to close it at 96,000, which is getting the customers to sign up the premium offer. Now, at the end of the year, if the premium offer is a value that the customer likes, the support is good, there's a potential opportunity to upgrade the customer from a premium to a premium plus, so able to move from 96,000 annual recurring revenue to 192,000 annual recurring revenue. And that's a huge substantial jump for the partners itself. Last but not least is to really enhance partners who are already on the MSP bandwagon, right? We do have partners in the US that are already a mature MSP provider. Today, they are using existing third-party remote monitoring and management platform like SolarWinds, Kaseya, ScienceLogic. What they want to do is that they want to actually expand onto their existing managed service provider portfolio. So for this particular partner in the US, they're actually offering a power as a service offer, and they leverage ServiceNow that's built around the APC UPS solution, while providing the executive customer portal to allow their customers to track their environment. And the partner sees the value of EcoStruxure IT by leveraging on the existing power as a service offer. They would like to expand the offer by using our big data analytics capability and have it interfaced with their customer portal. And by doing that, it is in the form of using APIs that we exposed out and have it integrated to really create the key differentiation and the additional value to their end customers. And the whole reason behind it is to create the stickiness for their end customers to them. All right. So what we want to achieve, and that's the whole idea here, is to allow you as the partner to become the trusted advisor to your end customers. I mean, apart from mitigating risk, downtime, and loss of revenue for your customers, we really want you to leverage on the 5 key benefits to add these capabilities into the DNA of your offer. And the first one, and the most critical one, is to allowing you to get full visibility into all the IT sites, even at the most remote ones, all right? With the right visibility and insights, you can proactively send someone down on site to replace a battery near its end of life, so that in the event of a power outage, your customer's environment still remains safe. The second need we saw earlier was to really create and form an ecosystem between us vendors and you, the partners, where we could actually extend our team of experts across the globe to really provide the necessary troubleshooting mechanism as well as on-site support for your end customers. The fourth bit is really to with the right remote management platform, it really gives you the ability to access and manage your customers' devices anywhere, anytime, so that you know which device requires attention before an issue arises. And the most important thing is to allow you to proactively plan for hardware and software refreshes, which means making additional revenue on top of your license resale model, right? Last but not least is to really complete your current set of reports by adding the power and cooling key matrices and data for complete IT infrastructure management service for your customers. So we want you to be the trusted advisor in helping customers to rely on a more secure, resilient, scalable, and efficient infrastructure. Now, it all starts by understanding that first, remote IT infrastructure management is more than just monitoring if the power is on and off. So let's partner to success together, right? Do get in touch with your Schneider Electric rep to learn more on how you get started and how do you get your partners and customers on board. Once again, I thank you for your time. Stay safe and be kind to one another. Thank you.